Welcome back to Unbound Chapters Podcast. I'm Sandra.
I'm Isabel.
Today is our first video of a new book. Finished Quicksilver. Now we are reading A Game of Love and Betrayal by, sorry if I mispronounce, Elayna or Gallea. I think that's it. We read 5 chapters. So we're looking at chapter 6 right now. So we're just gonna quickly review the first 5 chapters. No hate. I don't think it's gonna be a long video. It might be, but I don't think it's gonna be very
I feel
long.
like if we get into it, it could be long, but I don't think it's gonna be long. We only read 5 chapters.
Yeah. And first, right off the bat, I hate that it's third person.
But also, like, sometimes it confuses me the way the wording is.
Why?
I don't know. It's just, like, the way third person is, the wording just, like, messes with me.
Third person?
No, just, like, never mind.
Oh, I don't understand. Why is it confusing?
It just is.
What part? No jokes. What part?
Just, like, when they're talking and it's talking about, I was confused the whole first, not the whole first, but like the first 2 pages, I was confused. I thought there was 2 people in the room.
Only 2 people.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I thought there was 3 people in the room.
Yeah, why?
Because the way it just kept talking about her, I thought someone else was there observing what was happening.
Mm.
And it was not that.
Okay.
And I hate her.
What? You hate her name? She hates her name.
No, don't say it too loud.
I don't hate it, but at least it's not something I read all the time. You know?
I don't like
There's a lot of interesting names throughout the first 2.
her name.
I just don't like the EIGH.
What's her name? Brinley?
Yeah.
Brinley? I'm sorry. That's just what I think of.
Yeah, her name is...
You picture something when you hear a name like something Lee.
Just because we're from America. Yeah. Side note, the outline of the glove scared the shit out of me just now. On the floor.
Mm.
I really thought something was crawling. Alright, anyway. So, let's get back to it. This... my first kind of... I don't really know what the book is about. A lot. But I've heard that it's good.
I
don't
know what it is about now after reading the first 5 chapters, but I didn't going into it. I did see a lot of really good reviews about the book. I'm just having a hard time seeing it. We are only 5 chapters in.
Yeah.
And I didn't like Quicksilver until, like, what, chapter 8? So I guess it's...
I loved it right off the bat. And we're both on the same page right now.
Really boring. So maybe it's a similar situation for me, at least. But basically, it's a different world. They have, like, really vastly different poor and wealthy people.
In my head, it's Earth. It's not a different world in my head. There's just creatures.
It's not like Earth.
It's not like Earth. It's not like Earth.
Okay. So they have vastly different classes. There's like 2, poor or rich. It's not really anything in between. There's no middle class.
There are vastly different classes, poor and rich.
Well, I mean,
I was thinking it was like,
you know how there's
together.
But there's not. There's just the 2.
What?
Either you have money or you don't.
Oh. Okay, sorry.
And there's a bunch of different creatures. Like, there's fae, there's humans, and there's vampires. There's also werewolves. There might be more, but
I think they said shifters, but we know about the werewolf.
Yeah, they're shifters too.
Mm.
So, which
Well, shifters, they don't have to be werewolves. They can be other things.
The werewolves are shifters.
Yeah. I'm saying, like, they're in the shifter class, I think. Just like the different fae, there's, like, water, or fire, like that kind of thing. They're still fae. So I think werewolves are part of the shifter group. I think.
So, there's a bunch of creatures. And the fae have, like, different magics. Like, in the story so far, we know of a water, a fire, a death, and a light.
And a fortune.
Yeah. So they can have basically any...
Oh, and earth. There's earth one, too.
Power. She did also mention that, like, there's so many powers that sometimes, especially the rich people, keep it under wraps and keep it secret until they, like, get old enough to protect themselves and, like, represent their families.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of viewed their class system almost kind of like a royal hierarchy. Because they kind of seem like dukes, duchesses,
Oh, I have a
lords,
chancellor.
ladies.
It's not, the same, but...
All those rich families seem like that to me. Even though they weren't, like, called anything like that. They were called, like, what families? The prominent families? Something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
But it starts with this girl, Brindley. She's in a seedy...
Brindley.
She's in a seedy, like,
say her name,
side of town. She's in a seedy part of town, and she's, like, in this really disgusting apartment. And she's talking to a guy, and she's like, I'm feeling pretty, benevolent today. Which I thought was pretty interesting wording. But she was like, I'm feeling benevolent today. You want fangs or teeth? And
fangs or teeth?
Fangs or sword, knife. What was
metal? Is it metal? Fangs are metal?
He's trying to go through the window. He's looking at me. He went.
It might have been.
Go through the window.
Oh, he's coming. He's figuring it out.
Okay.
Come on.
So she's talking to him. She gives him two options: either to die by her sword or to die by her teeth. And he doesn't take her seriously because he looks at her and she, like, describes herself as, like, a petite, curvy blonde. And she has a really, like, sweet disposition. So most people, like, underestimate her. She's, like, really disappointed by his response. And he's, like, he starts flirting with her. And he's like, come on, let's just do it. She's like,
ew.
You're disgusting.
So, Annie?
No. So, he finally kind of gathers that she's there to kill.
Yeah.
And he starts to beg for his life. She's like, oh my god, he's a crier. And she's really upset by that. And she's like, my handler, I don't remember his full name. I know she just calls him Z sometimes.
Oh, it's ZAR something.
Anyway, she says that Z's gonna owe her for giving her such a crybaby. Because she really hates when they beg like that. Like, why can't they have some self-respect?
Zanry.
And I'm just gonna keep calling him Z.
Yeah, she comes in a bit.
And she eventually does kill him with her sword.
I don't like the word handler. Like, she's not a dog.
Yeah. She kills him with her sword, takes a picture, sends it to her handler. They meet up, debrief. And then he was like, you need to get cleaned up because your maker's coming. And the makers are, like, really important in this world. They have, like, a lot of sway over their progeny. And so she has to, like, look her best. She has to basically just do what her
I was calling her Gallea.
I wasn't. I was just looking at it.
It's not hard.
I know.
Do you know Brinley, but you just
I don't
the
like
rest
the
of
sound of it. So
Yeah.
I don't like Brinley either. I didn't read it. I just read it because I saw it. Anyways, she showers up. Her maker comes. They talk, and her maker's like, "I got a surprise for you. The surprise is you're gonna join the what's it called?
choosing.
The choosing, and the choosing. They don't explain what it is really until she gets there.
Can I just explain what it is?
I was gonna, but you can if you want to.
Because it annoys me. I won't explain everything, but in my head, the choosing is like freaking Hunger Games meets Love is Blind. Hunger Games, not like they're gonna fight or anything like that, but like with like that's just vibe getting. Mostly Love is Blind. I like the show. I don't like reading about it. I'm starting to read about it. Continue.
Yeah, so they all meet up at this really fancy building.
Oh, it happens. You want to say when it happens? What? You want to say how long it happens? And like the reason why she's like excited to go?
Oh, I don't remember how long it happens.
Happens once every decade. Like a bunch of the prominent families all put a child.
Their child.
Yeah, not a child. Like I don't know if they have more than one, but one of them I think does. But they put one of their children into this thing called the choosing, and there's like 10 girls and 10 boys. It's like 10 or 12. I think there's 12. Either way, there's either 10 or 12 girls and then 12 guys, and you can't see each other whatsoever. You just kind of go on these dates, and it happens once every 10 years. And the reason she wants to go, do you remember why she wants to go? Okay, you want to say it?
She wants to go because what is his title? A general captain?
I think it's captain. Oh my god, I pet your cat, now my eye itches.
He's got some rank in the military, and he had something
also
to
hate
do.
His name.
He had something to do with her death, which made
her whole family's death.
I was getting there.
Sorry.
Her death, which made her turn, and her family's death, which she's most upset about.
12.
And Captain? Yeah. And she has a plan to go to this thing, this broadcast.
Yeah, she
make
said that
him fall in love with her and then kill him.
Yeah, she said that her maker told her that he was definitely going to be one of the 12 participants, and it was kind of, I don't know how she found out, but apparently like try to keep the participants under wraps, like no one knows who's going to be joining that year, but somehow she found out that he was going to be one of them, and she was able to get her to be accepted as well.
She's also been training her to like do this thing where she can kill him, because they've been waiting for 6 years since she was turned. Yeah,
he's just like disappeared off the face of the planet. Like they know he's out there, but
which is common for the children of the prominent families. They keep them like under wrap pretty tightly. Yeah. Partly to keep them safe, and another part so they don't embarrass their family before they're like trained in social situations.
Why he killed them?
Yeah, I feel like he probably didn't directly, but something he did indirectly, or he just happened to be there when it happened.
Yeah, because how would she
remember it? Or maybe her maker was like, "Hey, it's him," because she wants him to die.
I hate his name.
I forgot his name.
Riker. What in the backwater country shit is this?
Stop it.
Yeah, Brinley
Come here.
and Riker. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so she is at her house, like get your little grandpa's for decorations. Ow! Little heifer. Yeah, so it's like the day before, the night before, or something before the time that she goes to the choosing.
That's when she finds out, yeah.
Yeah, at the end of chapter 1, she finds out that he is going to be there. And then she's like at her house, kind of getting ready for like packing some things because she's not going to be able to go home. Obviously, she's going to stay at the place that the choosing is at. So,
and she mentions later it's like 3 months long.
Damn, I remember that. Yeah. So she grabs some essential things and she's like getting ready to leave. Her maker is there, just like going through the closet trying to find like the perfect dress for her to wear.
Other outfits, because it is televised, so she has to look her best.
Yeah, to like.
And she also represents her maker.
Yeah. So she has to have nice outfits and things to wear the whole time this is taking place. And she's kind of just like, Brinley is like kind of, seems like nonchalant, like, pick whatever you want out, like, I'm there to make this dude fall in love with me so I can kill him.
Yeah.
So she doesn't really care about anything, but, yeah, so some unimportant kind of stuff happens, and then
she gets there.
She's in the limo.
She walks down a.
She don't walk down. She don't walk down.
She starts to walk down.
But tell her why. Tell him why.
I'm about to.
Hurry up.
You do it then.
All right. So when you are turned, vampires are turned. They're not born that way, so they're already kind of like, discriminated against because, they're not cool enough to be born. So, anyway, when you are turned into a vampire, some vampires can get, like, special abilities. Usually it's one or the other kind of situation, but she talked about the moon goddess, like, Isvana, who, like, blessed her, so she has 2 gifts. She has shadows and wings. Usually it's, like, one or the other.
Yeah, and those are the only 2 gifts that you can get.
Yeah,
that you can get now.
Yeah, that we know of. She has both of them. So, not only can she just create shadows from, like, her hands and stuff, but she can also summon wings. And from the sound of it, her wings are nice. Big wings. But, yeah, she's in the limo, and then she pulls up to the thing. The doors are opening, and there's already, like, cameras flashing and everything. And she's kind of, like, in some kind of privacy smoke thing, some kind of magical ability.
Some magic smoke thing, so she can't, like, accidentally see anyone else.
Yeah, she can't see any of the guys, she can't see any of her. I feel like they're just kind of rolling up one at a time, though.
Yeah, they're, like, in a limo line, and they go walk, and then the next one pulls up, they go walk.
Yeah. So
basically, like The Bachelorette, they get out of their limos one by one, but they don't meet anyone.
I've seen other reality shows that are kind of like that. So, yeah,
like The Bachelor, The Bachelorette. Their limo pulls up, they walk in, they go to the waiting room, and then the next one comes up. They walk down, get their pictures taken. They don't talk to the bachelors like in The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. They all go to their meeting room, get to know each other, talk about who the people could be. That's similar.
Yeah, Love is Blind. They're just in separate rooms. I mean, you watched that one season a little bit with me.
It's so far it seems like a mix of Bachelor and Love is Blind, but there's equal amount of bachelors and bachelorettes. So that part is more
Love is Blind. Yeah, so she is like, I'm gonna put on a show. Oh
his toy.
my god, it scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, so she wants to make a really good impression because she knows if she's like held to like an important, basically like how the girls put on a good show and they become favorites with the viewers. She knows that if she becomes a favorite, that
you can keep going.
she knows that if she becomes a favorite, that she'll catch Riker's eye more easily. So she decides to bring out her wings and bring out her smoke, and she does like a little levitate smoky show, and everyone's like, oh wow, everyone's gonna love her, she's gonna be a favorite. And then she instead of taking the rest of the stairs, she flies to the entrance, and then she goes to the room. She's the second girl.
Yeah, I think second or third, maybe.
No, she's second. I don't remember. She's second. She was the second girl in the room. The first girl is like a really chatty busybody.
She's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, she's asking her so many questions. She's like, are you a vampire? What's your name? Isn't your maker like blah 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 and all this stuff? And every now and then, Brindley has these flashbacks of when she turned, and it kind of seems like a drowning type situation, because she mentioned water the first time, and then the second time she mentioned how when she thinks about her past life, like her original last name, she feels like the waves crashing on her again. And since she's a vampire, she has to use her maker's name, and her maker's name is De La Pointe.
Yeah, I say De La Pointe, but I think it's yeah.
So more girls come, they talk, get to know each other, and then it's like 11 of them, and it's been a while before the last person comes, and there's like kind of a long pause, and they're like, who's the last one? I wonder who it could be. And then before this door even opens, they feel like this energy getting closer, and all of them like stiffen, but Brindley gets closer, and she's like, this one's dangerous. I like it. And she comes in, and they find out she's the daughter of the Chancellor. And the Chancellor's like a president.
Yeah, I think something like that.
She's the leader. And they're like, oh my god. She's like the biggest competition they could ever have based on just her status alone. And her magic is really under wraps. No one talks about it. No one's even glimpsed it that isn't supposed to. And she walks in, she looks at everyone, and then she looks at Brindley, and she's like, they letting anybody in here? She said it way more aggressive. And
yeah. She's the only vampire that is there.
She's the only vampire. There's like a werewolf, a bunch of fae.
Yeah, they talk about elves.
And was there two shifters? A shifter or two?
I remember the werewolf.
The werewolf has some orange glowing eyes. So it's pretty cool. So they kind of have like a showdown, verbal spat, but it's broken up by basically the person that comes in and talks to like the groups of the women and men, and they're like, here's what you're gonna do, here's what you're here for, find your love match, stuff like that. And then they go to bed and then wake up the next day for their interviews. They have like 10-ish interviews. Did it say how many?
I don't think it said how many, but I just saw another thing. There's also dragons, but I don't think there's any dragons in this thing.
One of the girls, her brother is a dragon.
Yeah.
Which, they mentioned a dragon, and I thought it was her brother for a second, and I was like, why would brother and sister be in the same blind dating show?
If they can hear their voice, they probably know that they're related, or they might just keep them separate
Unless
anyway.
they magic it.
Yeah, possibly. That would be disgusting.
Very. Could you imagine?
No. I could not imagine.
So, they do these interviews, and they're most of them are pretty high up in society, so they're like trained to deal with these kinds of situations. And Brinley's been training for so many years, so she knows how to answer the questions as well, even though she's not one of the prominent families. But some of the other girls are a little bit lower on the totem pole, or basically...
Oh, yeah, and there's also like a lottery. They pick a commoner.
Yeah.
That's not part of the upper people.
Yeah, there's some commoner...
Just one.
Girl there, and she's having a rough go of it.
Yeah.
She basically cries through all of her interviews, and...
She's like, why are they just picking on me? Because you're easy to pick on.
They pick on her a bunch, and because she's a commoner, they go really rough on her, because the government system is really skewed towards the rich. So, Brinley decides, I'm gonna take care of her. And she, like, tries to cheer her up, keep her company, because they're split up in groups of 4. So they go through... There are 2
shifters.
So they go through the same process with the same group of 4. And then after that, I think that's the end of that day, right? And then the next day, the next day they're supposed to have like...
So the questions went on for hours.
Yeah. But are these televised live, these interviews? It wasn't...
I don't know if they're live, but I think they are televised. I don't think it's like that moment in time.
I think this next day is their like debut on stage. Is where they meet all the bachelors and bachelorettes. So they're on stage. There's still like the magic smoke. They can't see each other. They also can't see the audience, which I didn't understand why they wouldn't be able to see the audience.
Yeah.
And they're on the stage waiting for, like, their introductions and all this stuff. And I think it's their first introduction to each other through the magic smoky wall.
But before that, it changes to that Riker guy's POV. After that chapter is done.
Oh, right. It's his POV during this part.
Yeah.
And he talks about how he's, trained.
Yeah, also, I remember it said that... I don't know if he's the cause directly for their family's death, but I do remember that everything was fine, but he is responsible for her entire village's death. Like, everyone in her entire village was killed.
Yeah, he did mention an incident, and he does have water magic. But I don't think he did it on purpose.
Yeah, and, like, he already knew that he was gonna eventually participate in this event, and I feel like he was just doing his child duties.
Yeah, he didn't want to do it, but his dad got sick, like, the year before the show, and he was like, please, get married. I want to see you get married before I die. I want to see you settled. So, he really loves his dad, and we haven't met his dad, but they have such a cute, loving bond.
He was like, no, I gotta come out of hiding.
Yeah, usually with fantasy books, the dads are like, stern, man. But his dad seems really sweet, and it's sad that he's sick. I'm sad that he's sick. I already love him.
Okay.
He's cute.
Oh my god.
So, that's why he's doing this show. He's like, I will find a wife because I have to, not because I want to. And they're on the stage now, and he's like talking about how they've been waiting longer than they should be. Someone should already be out there, like, introducing them and all that stuff. And he's about to go find someone. He's talking to the dragon shifter. He's like, I'm gonna go find someone who's in charge because this is ridiculous. I wait for no one. He didn't say that, but that's how I read it. And
they're like all in a bar room.
Yeah,
at this point. I don't think there's any like news people or camera. Well, there might be cameras, but like they're all like in this ballroom area. They're still all separated, which is like crazy. I mean, it's cool, but I'm just like, I know there's people over there, but like I can't see them.
So then the Chancellor walks on the stage up to the microphone. She's surrounded by 4 guards.
Mm-hmm.
And then, was it 2 or 4 guards that came into the room? I think it's 2. 2 guards come into the bachelor room, and he was like, "What's going on? This is tense. This is weird." And the Chancellor starts speaking. She was like, "Oh, we had a little mishap, but we're better now. We fixed it. We can start."
What are you talking about? Before the thing happened?
Yeah.
Okay, I totally forgot that part.
She came out. She was like, "Everything's fine. We fixed it. We can go according to plan." And then as soon as she finishes speaking, or in the middle of when she's speaking, there's a scream, and everyone's on high alert, and he said that everyone just like freezes for a second, and then people start moving into action, and then
Brinley's chapter again.
it goes back to Brinley's point of view, and she's talking about how bored she is, and she goes, "Is it bad that I'm glad this interrupted this thing so I can get out of here?" She's like, "I want to be here, but I don't."
Yeah,
so
well, she can see, she can't see like through the cloud, the magic cloud, but she can see something happen, and then she can smell.
Yeah, she can smell
Bazinga blood.
And she kind of sees the person
"Oh my
laying on the
gosh."
ground, and she can see the way the blood is spreading. She assumes this person's been shot, and she's starting to go into her feeding frenzy because she's still kind of...
Yeah, she's only 6 years old.
Yeah, she's still a fresh vampire, so she's still getting control of her thing. Yeah,
and also they did mention that vampires aren't allowed to bite people. They have to like go to a blood bank and like purchase. Oh, sorry, and like purchase their blood. So she's never fed from a human before, but it seems like it really wants her to do it. You know,
she really wants to, but she can't, and she smells this blood. She's like, "Oh, I want it." Yeah. And then she talks about how they have to go to blood banks and get blood bags. And she also kind of mentions that her maker talked about the old vampires.
He's playing with something out there.
And the old vampires used to be able to drink from humans, and when they did, they were able to tap into some powers that are dormant through blood bags.
So they're scared of the vampires.
Yeah, so I think that she's gonna have to feed from someone out of necessity, and I think she's gonna get some sort of power.
Do you think they can change other beings? Like a vampire fae, or will it just like counter the other one and you just become a vampire, something like that? Because
I think you can change them.
Because if that were true, then like if you're a water fae, then like now you're a vampire with water powers. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know if the powers would transfer. Maybe they're tied to your living life and you're dead. Even though she does have a heartbeat.
Yeah, she doesn't need to breathe, but she does it for normalcy, she said.
So she's talking about that. She also mentions that her maker's maker had telepathy. And no, not telepathy.
It said read minds. Tell the future? Tell the future. It was something was read minds.
Read minds.
Is that telepathy? She could read minds.
She could read minds. And I'm thinking of telekinesis. It is telepathy. couldn't figure out
I was thinking
which
of teleporting.
I was thinking of telekinesis. I was like, no, she can't.
Yeah, telepathy. She can read minds.
She can read minds. Telepathy. Okay. She was like, but she never met her because she voluntarily went into a sleep. A bunch of the old vampires did because they were like tired of tired of life. Yeah. It also happened during a power change, so I feel like it probably wasn't as voluntary.
Yeah, I also think it wasn't as voluntary.
Yeah, it happened during the government power change when it changed over to the Fae. It changed from vampires to Fae, I think, because obviously there's a Fae right now, so I think it was vampires to Fae. And a lot of the older vampires were like, nah, we out.
Yeah, they didn't die, but they're in like a deep sleep.
Yeah, in a secret location that no one can know.
Yeah, like a few people know.
Sketch.
Yeah,
I don't believe it. Anyways.
I believe it, but I don't like it. Hey, this is not for kitties like you.
Especially you. Even if you could have it. No bad boy. Bad boy. Oh.
Yeah, so the say hello.
Come here.
The
No.
issue happens, and they're all kind of like ushered to go back to their lounges. Like the girls like the Crimson Lounge. I don't know what the boys is called, but yeah, like the Crimson Lounge, and like I wouldn't say friends, but she met a few of the girls that she's like in this competition with, and one of them, her name is Hallie. She's like a fortune elf, and you know, if it's a fortune elf, you think that they could, tell things that are going to be happening. Or
and the Chancellor's daughter, she a grade A bitch.
Yeah, her name is Valentina. She just sounds like
why didn't you?
Yeah, like, aren't you a fortune fae? Couldn't you have seen this coming? And she was like, that's not how this works. And so she like kind of degrades her, and
Brinley steps
does
in.
not like that. Oh, he purring. Yeah, Brinley does not like that, and she's just like
back off.
Yeah, kind of verbally going at it with this girl, and then they make it back to their room.
This next part pisses me off. And then what's the Chancellor's daughter's name? Valentina gets this smirk, which if I'm threatening somebody and they start smirking at me, I'm gonna get angry.
Yeah, but they're back in the room when this happens.
No, this is in the hallway. They haven't gotten there yet.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So they were talking, arguing, and she's like, "You really don't know who I am, do you?"
She's like, "I know you're a bitch."
Yeah. She's like,
"Other than that, I don't know who you are."
And so Valentina holds out her hand, and she's able to make fire. And this is when we learn.
Fire fae.
Yeah. This is when we learn that there's only 3 things that can kill a vampire: fire, stake through the heart, and...
Well, fire was the last one. Silver, wooden stakes, and fire.
Silver.
Flames. Yeah, silver, wooden stakes, and flames.
This next part, she seems like such a badass, but then...
And then she turns into
sees this tiny little flame, and she shrinks back against the wall.
She, cowers.
Yeah. It was kind of pathetic.
Very pathetic. Like, you're supposed to be...
Valentina's there, she just fucking...
She just loves it.
Sorry, she's just cackling.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really annoying.
Her flame gets to be a foot tall.
Yeah.
Which I would love to be a fire fae. Yeah. Like, I want fire and water, because I want ice. Because I like the cold, but, like, I'm a fire sign, so I have to... I'm also, I just like to stare at fire. I would just do this all day. Yeah.
So, the person... What's it called? The host?
Matron.
I'm talking about on dating shows.
Yeah, host MC.
Yeah, the host on like a dating show, the matron, human, she comes out, she's like, "Ladies, break it up." And then she only speaks to Brinley. She's like, "You need to calm down. Don't let her get to you."
Yeah, which is fair, because like that's the Chancellor's daughter and she's a vampire,
she's also going through like some hunger pains right now.
1 to 3 days.
And they go inside, and Brinley rushes to the bar because she's hungry. She's like, "Give me blood right now. We don't have time to heat it up. Just give it to me cold."
Warm or cold. Yeah, she's like, "Well, give it to me cold. You see I'm in a panic right now?" Yeah.
And the matron, what did she say next? I forgot.
Oh, well, she was talking about, before that, she's talking about the whole, where is her? You shouldn't let her get beneath her skin, it'll only make things worse. And then, she asked for blood. And then she asked for more blood. And then that's when, he just stopped praying.
He's sleeping.
Just like that. Shit, I wish.
He's a boy.
Just like that. Oh, his arm book. Did you see him? He was like, yeah, and then the matron starts just starts talking about the situation. She was like, Harper will tell you.
Yeah.
She says, like, don't let her get under your skin, like, that kind of thing.
Yeah, he talks about how it was a rebel movement.
Someone was shot.
Yeah, there was a threat towards the Chancellor. Someone was there to kill her, and Brindley mentions that she saw, like, the color drain out of... The old sandwich just went. The color drained out of Valentina's face because that's her mom.
Yeah,
and someone just tried to kill her mom.
They're like, oh, there's no need to fear.
Yeah,
it's all under control. Yeah, like, perfect.
Yeah, the woman that was shot was a human, and she was shot because she was a rebel. And the threat is gone, and they shouldn't have to worry about anything else. And then
like, opening ceremony, it's over.
Yeah, was it Hallie? She was like, what does that mean for the dating show?
Yeah. And no, it was Calliope.
Calliope. And
she kind of just randomly popped out. We just know about, like, Yvette. Yeah, anyway, Calliope.
Brindley's heart, like, dropped to her stomach.
Yeah, she's like,
this
kid not... I cannot wait 10 years. 10 years might not be long, but, like, I am only 6 years as a vampire. Like, I still look at years like a human would,
She's like, I'm too young to not be bothered by the passing of years. I need to do this now.
Can you close your eyes? Yeah. So she was like, I need to do this. I cannot wait 10 more years. Who knows where he could be? Who knows if he'll even come to the next one?
She doesn't even know what he looks like. That's how under wraps this dude is.
Yeah, he's, like, nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
She just knows his name and, like, that he's captain. It says, sometimes it says captain, sometimes it says general. He mentioned himself as general, I think.
He also was talking
captain.
about how he moved up in the military. So it's possible he was both.
Yeah, it just says head of the Army's Fey Division. That's what it is.
So,
Captain Riker Elias, head of
the matron's like, no, everything will... Or the guard, whichever one of them is like, no, everything will continue as planned. Go get some rest for tomorrow.
Yeah, like, we're safe, don't worry about it. And then she's just like, alright, well, I'm not leaving this place without a ring on my finger. Wish good attitude. Yeah, and that was pretty much it. Now we're looking at chapter 6.
I'm not looking forward to the next
Neither am I,
chapters because I'm really, really bored.
Me too, but, like, the way we talked about it seems like it's...
right?
Seems like it's way more interesting.
Just thinking about that, too.
It sounds very exciting, but when you read it, you're like...
When you break it down like that, it does
when
sound
you get rid
really
of all the
interesting,
random...
But there's, like, 2-3 chapters of stuff we don't need.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, right when we started, I was like, damn, this might be a little bit of a longer video, because it sounds better that we're talking about it than it does when you're actually sitting there reading it.
Predictions.
I don't fucking know.
I
think maybe not coming up right now, like in the next section that we're going to be reading, but I feel like, obviously her and Riker are going to get together. I mean, they have to. But if she doesn't know what he looks like, and he doesn't remember what happened 6 years ago, I think they might team up accidentally to, like, help take something down or do something. I feel like the games are gonna get all... Is it, like, Digit games?
I don't think it's
games.
Just like,
talking?
I think it's, like,
okay.
Talking.
So then I think something is gonna happen, and everything is gonna become amok, and boys and girls are gonna get mixed, and they're gonna be like, alright, we're teaming up, that kind of thing.
I think in the next however many chapters we're going to read, that they're going to have their first dating things. Maybe they'll even have one-on-one dating things similar to Love is Blind, like in their own, like
I feel
divided
like
by a wall or something.
A certain amount of people that go at a time.
And I think that a contestant is going to die.
Possibly, I think so too.
I think it's going to be Calliope. I don't know anyone else's name that isn't like...
Yeah, I know.
In the front, so I think it's Calliope.
Well, we just learned about her in the last chapter. We learned about, like, Yvette and Hallie and well, Valentina, of course, but she's not gonna die. And I think there was another one that she was talking to.
I don't remember her name. I think someone's gonna die.
Mm.
I think that she's gonna go for the wrong dude.
That would suck.
I think she has this idea of him in her mind, and I think somewhat he's like that, but I don't think he's as brutal as she thinks.
Mm.
I think she's possibly gonna go for the dragon, thinking it's him.
Maybe.
Based off the dragon's personality that we read so far. And I do think there's gonna be something to where they're gonna have to, like, team up, the boys and girls, to, like, figure this out, stay safe. And I think the killer is among them.
Yeah, there's Yvette. She is a death elf. Redheaded death elf. We have Yvette is the death elf. I already said that. Think of something else, lady. Just pissed myself off. There's another girl, Esmeralda. She's a light elf. Mother's side is dragon shifter. And
Her brother is a dragon shifter.
Yeah. And should we learn about someone else? Well, the fortune elf, which I don't know her name right now. Is that Hallie? She's a fortune elf?
I thought it was something with a K.
I don't think there's anyone with a K.
Oh. Then I don't know. I'm not good with names.
I mean, I saw I'm looking right now. Yeah, I think they mentioned the wolf's name, but maybe not. Yeah, I think Hallie is the fortune elf. Trinity. She's the werewolf. And yeah. So I know a few other people's names, but yeah, I agree with what you said. I think the killer is among them. Maybe it's a game of love and betrayal, so someone's gonna fall in love and someone's gonna betray.
But, like, she's planning on making him fall in love with her to kill him.
Yeah.
That's a betrayal.
I know, but if that's literally all that it fucking is, I'm gonna be so pissed. But yeah, anyway, we will get back to you. We took a little bit of a break for the holiday, Thanksgiving. Took some time off and chillaxed.
Through these chapters.
Yeah, had to get through these chapters. Hopefully it picks up because I'm very bored.
Yeah, we were supposed to read more chapters.
Yeah, we were gonna read to like chapter 8, and then I was just like, we need to put a video out. So yeah, we need to take some time off for the Thanksgiving holiday, but
yeah. Speaking of holidays,
I'm gonna mention it now.
I mean,
I'm gonna mention it like.
Are we not gonna like? Well, I don't think we're gonna finish this book by the time that time starts, do you?
Yeah, the fuck we are. I'm not dragging this fucking book to my holiday. Okay, anyway, surprising news. We're gonna be doing. Don't do this Christmas? What the fishing is? Huh? Yeah, but like 12. Yeah, we're gonna be doing 12 days of Smutmas. So we have a lineup of books.
Some of these are gonna be two-parters because the theme is either really similar or one of them is like a 0.5 that came after, and we're reading both of them together.
So I think there's only 2 videos that will talk about. One video will talk about 2 books, and then another video will talk about 1.5 books. Yeah, so the rest of them will just be single
We have some
videos.
really interesting books picked out.
Yeah.
There's some of them I'm really looking forward to. Some
Me
of
too.
them I know they're going to be really, really awful.
I mean, it's Christmas, so you can be expecting, you know, like...
Cringe.
What?
Cringe.
Oh, I was going to say, like, you know, elves or, like, Santa or, like, you know, winter things. She said cringe.
Cringe.
Yeah.
Or my favorite, Krampus.
Yeah, Krampus will be there. He's invited to the party. We couldn't find the reindeer one.
No.
But...
Don't we have a cookie?
Yeah, we have gingerbread.
Man? Yeah.
Yeah, we have some Grinch-esque.
Mm-hmm.
We have some orc, kind of.
Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah, we have some snowman ones.
I read a snowman one.
I'm just remembering the covers that we were looking at. That I was like, okay.
The elf.
We have an elf one.
Yeah, the elf cover is hilarious.
Yeah. Fuck. Shoot, we might just. We're not taking a picture. We can just put the cover for these.
That would be
these
so
books.
funny. We would probably get.
Well, we're not even. Oh, I don't think we'll get removed. It's.
Right.
It's a candy cane.
Sure.
But yeah, so we'll be coming with that. We'll have 12 days of Smutmas for you. Yeah, and then we'll probably take a break for some holiday things. And then maybe surprise you for some New Year.
Yeah, depends.
Yeah.
We're both going on trips.
Yeah. But yeah, look forward to that. And I don't know when the next video will be, but I would say no later than Monday.
Yeah.
Try anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Thursday, so maybe no later than Monday. Try to push it at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, if you're reading this book,
good luck.
If you're reading this book, let us know what you think. If you've already read it, please tell us it gets better because I'm struggling right now.
Tell me Book Talk didn't lead me astray again.
Usually Book Talk is pretty good, in my opinion.
There's a lot of iffy ones.
Well, pretty much everything that I've read from Book Talk, I've been happy with. Except for that book that you loved. I like the second book better, the Naxia ones. Naxia. The Crowns of Serpent and that thing.
I loved the first one.
I hated the first one, and I really enjoyed the second one. And
I was bored.
You didn't like the second one, did you?
No.
Did you even finish it?
I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we were like completely switched. I hated the first one, and I really liked the second one.
I loved the first one.
It was so awful.
No.
So awful.
Yeah, we're finally on the same page with this one. Usually it is one of us hates it and one of us likes it, and then we eventually have the same opinion. Yeah. But right now, we're both starting strong. Bored.
Yeah, so please.
I do think it is going to get better because I've seen so many good reviews about it. So.
Well, you just said that Book Talk can lead you astray.
That's true. But I haven't seen any bad Book Talk reviews.
I'll be the first one. This book, no. Yeah, so leave a like if you like this video. If you didn't like it, just like it anyway. Because it's just a click and it's free, and why not, right? Mm-hmm. Leave a comment if you want. No one has done it yet, so I'm going into depression. So if you would like to avoid giving someone depression, please leave a comment. Begging, please. Yeah, so anyway, that's enough rambling for now. Yeah, bye!